You ready?
I am ready. One sec.
Oh.
What's up, Destiny Max?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Why are you calling me?
Destiny.
By his
I'm sorry, I
super
know.
name, but calling me by my government name.
I feel like I'm closer to you, Max, even though that's just the parasociality kicking in, you know.
Okay. Yep. All right. What would you like to talk about?
I think I'm gonna call him Steven though. That does seem more natural. Steven, I got a thing I want to talk to you about first. So I am the author. I'm Will in his shitty channel, author of the Extreme Daddy Festo. My Extreme Daddy Festo was in your browser tab for 2 days, and you didn't watch it. You were like this close to watching my video. What happened, man?
What was it about?
It was about a loser internet nerd that you banned 3 years ago from your Discord.
Oh, that's
Extreme Dad.
Yeah.
Is that too obscure content?
It's a lot of stuff for a guy that's genuinely a little bit scary to me. I don't know what your guys' like association with him is or anything, but like the reason why I banned that dude is because I think he was making like what appeared to me to be pretty legitimate death threats to me, or other people. So
Really?
Yeah.
Like, you would have classified them as legitimate death threats. Like, I mean, you've obviously interacted with a lot
When I
of
say
people
legitimate, what I mean is that like he came off as somebody that was genuinely mentally disturbed to me. He felt like he had, I don't know if I say schizophrenia, but he felt genuinely mentally disturbed, and he was making like threatening comments about, I think, like fighting me and killing me. So when I say genuine, like, do I mean like, did I really think he was gonna do it? I don't know 100%, but they felt genuine, like he meant it, and he seemed a little bit fucking insane. So that was like kind of worrisome for me.
More than average. Like, I'm just getting more than average.
Yeah,
Okay.
like most people are
Okay,
just like, oh,
that's
that's
fair.
fucking kill you, blah, blah, blah. But like,
Right.
he messaged me one day on like some whole shit. Okay, hold on. People are laughing. I know that people don't like this take that I get, but like 99% of quote unquote death threats on the internet are a fucking joke. I don't take them seriously. I don't take it seriously when other people say they got death threats. I need to know that you're on like some serious shit, that you're gonna like actually do some shit. So like, when people, like I get a ton of people message me saying they're gonna find me and kill me and they wanna kill me. I don't consider those death threats. I don't give a fuck. You're not gonna do anything. I know you're not gonna do anything, right? But sometimes there are.
It's a pussy.
Yeah, or sometimes there are people that it seems like
The balls.
this person might actually do something. I'm not 100% sure. And for those people, yeah, I do take those a bit more seriously. He was in that vein of things, yeah, where it was like he seemed like a pretty unhinged guy that maybe would have acted on something given the opportunity to. Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
And Max, I want to talk
Yeah.
to you about eating chicken and waffles with Nazis. Because I'm gonna be honest. I think that so, you know, we had the hypothetical that I paid $10 for. The what do they call those? Question back and forth. You asked me all these questions. You know, would you eat chicken and waffles with you know, a Jewish pastor not on
With a
TV
mouse? Would you eat chicken and waffles in a house?
in a house with a mouse in a blouse? Yeah, all of the above. You know, I think that we should be encouraging all pastors and blouses and houses, honestly, just anybody in general, to eat chicken and waffles with Nazis.
With anybody? With Nazis?
Yeah,
okay.
with any.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I
let me
mean,
just
I won't say Nazis
let me
specifically.
let me ask you. Do you think Joe Biden should eat chicken and waffles with Nick Fuentes?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Without it.
Should this be televised?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think
I want to.
Joe Biden?
Sorry,
Do you
before
think?
we go on, I want to frame it. The people that you brought up a specific list of people, because there are people that I think it wouldn't be good to do, and
Yeah.
I want that to be the second half of our conversation, if you don't mind.
Okay. Do you think how many lunches do you think Joe Biden has professionally with other people in 4 years?
I mean, probably one every day. It's for 4 years.
Like 7 days a week he has a professional televised or
Oh, a professional televised lunch. I'm sorry.
publicized. Let's say publicized.
You okay?
Luncheon.
Okay, I have no idea. Once a month.
Am I
maybe.
okay?
Obviously, very rare. Yeah.
Are I okay?
Are you,
He's
are
missing.
you asking me if I'm okay?
Yeah, you just had a stroke almost.
Public.
Can I see Max? I'm just looking at his.
He doesn't know how to get
icon.
his
If I
camera.
can, it's
Sorry.
fine.
Yeah, he's.
Oh,
he's fucking
okay.
hard.
Hey. There it is.
Based. Okay. All right. I think that it would be really cool if one of those, you know, he maybe only has 12 lunches a year. Let's throw one of them at Nick Fuentes. Let's throw one of them at like a crazy alt-writer and televise it, right? And let's prep Joe Biden, you know, for this lunch.
Okay, so you're saying he has
and,
12
like,
publicized luncheons, and you think one of them
Yep.
should go to Nick Fuentes?
100%, unironically.
I just don't think that makes any sense. I don't really understand your justification for.
I think that. Sorry.
I don't
I
really
think Nick
understand.
Fuentes is like a
there's-
kind of a scary character, like legitimately, like, and he's getting a lot of you know, public shit, and maybe we need kind of like a more public, you know, attack.
Okay, so I have two. I feel like you just are out of your mind, but I have two counter arguments to this. One is he's displacing a lunch with like, you know, a world leader, or the leader of a like advocacy organization in the United States that like didn't attack or try to overthrow the government. There's like lots of people Joe Biden could have lunch with. They're probably really deserving of, and important. It's an important message to like, you know, whoever, society and the world. I don't understand how you justify displacing one of those people with Nick Fuentes. Like, do you think Joe Biden should have lunch with me?
Yeah, eventually, maybe. Not right now. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think the Mr. Girl lunch is really worth his time. But the Nick Fuentes one, like, I mean, Nick Fuentes had APAC. I mean, he had fucking Congress people come to, like, his thing.
Sure.
Like, I honestly think Nick Fuentes is probably...
Nick Fuentes is legitimately a politician. That's true.
Yeah, to some degree. And so displacing a lunch, here's the thing. So displacing a lunch, hey, we don't even know how many fucking lunches there are here anyway. So
You just said 12. You just said 12. You
I'm
literally
guessing.
just
Okay,
said
whatever,
12.
it's 12. I was
So
guessing.
you made up a
Fuck it.
hypothetical. So you're being.
Alright, so yeah, we'll
no,
give
wait. You're being evasive. You're being evasive, which is frustrating in itself, but also it makes the conversation take forever, which I don't want. So, I'm just saying you have to provide a pretty strong justification for cutting out a lunch with like, you know, Justin Trudeau or something. You know, like a world leader. You know, even Putin. You know, those kinds of things. You're like, well, we don't have time in the schedule for Putin. We have to talk to Nick Fuentes. Two, isn't that sending a weird message that if you try to stage a coup You get put on like the match list. You get put on a no-fly list. You like can't make a PayPal account or get a bank account, but you can have lunch with the president. Doesn't that send kind of a weird message to people that like the best way to have lunch with Joe Biden is to try to murder the vice president?
Well, when Joe Biden has lunch with Putin, it's not like they're all buddy and they're getting fucking ice cream and shit together.
Are you able to answer a question? Do you know what's
Wait,
2 plus 2? I just want to test.
4.
What's 2 plus? Okay,
Why-
so you
why
can't
am I
answer.
answering
You are able to answer a question. Why are you not answering the question? I don't know. I'm scared to ask you.
Ooh. Secret maps.
Let me ask me the question. I don't really understand what I'm not engaging with. Just say, all right, say it one more time. Make it really dumb for me. Explain
No,
what
I'm scared how long it's going to take. Okay. Do you
I'm sorry, I'll
see
make it
why?
quick. 10 seconds.
Okay. I think it sends a poor message that if you try to overthrow the government, the president then has lunch with you.
I think that
you
it's
think
not a
that's
poor
true?
message because I don't think it's not. I think that he has lunches with people that are bad all the time, and we could just add Nick Fuentes to that list.
Oh, so we'll just make a new list that removes the fact that he tried to overthrow the government and possibly kill the vice president, or encourage a mob to kill the vice president, and we'll put him on a
Who's
new
worse,
list.
Putin or
We'll put him on a new list. No, we'll put him on a new list of people who are bad. And then since there's so many other people on the list of people that are bad, we can remove the original condition that I just mentioned and just say we'll just swap that out for another word that's vague, and then say that's the justification.
Extremism in America is a big enough deal for Joe Biden to have lunch with Nick Fuentes.
Extreme dadism in America isn't a big enough deal for Steven to watch your fucking video.
All right, you're deflecting from the point.
So are you.
I don't think I am. The whole point
I
I'm
have
trying
nothing
to
else
get
to
at is
say. I have nothing else to say about this. Steven, do you have anything you want to add about whether Biden should have lunch with Nick Fuentes?
Well, the question is, hold on.
Anywhere,
Are you arguing that like specifically Biden should have lunch with him, or were you trying to argue?
No,
the
I was
principle
starting
that-
a chain
No,
of
no, him.
hypotheticals.
I'm asking him because it seems like now
Okay.
you're getting hung up on the like, should Biden specifically have lunch with him? Whereas I think his general point was like, you should entertain political radicals. I think that was like the.
Yeah.
in
So when
general,
you say
I think. Sorry.
when you say everybody should have lunch with everybody, yeah, people should have lunch across the political aisle. My issue with Steven was I was saying like you're not just a guy. When someone has lunch with you, they get an injection of like posterity and money and clout and networking stuff. And his counter argument is like that's true, but I think that the work I'm doing counteracts that, or I just don't think it's that big of a problem, or you're being soy. However, if you're talking about Joe Biden, we're talking about an undeniably huge injection of posterity and money and clout and networking, right? And so I was trying to point out to you that there's a difference between saying people should have lunches with people who disagree with them, and people should, anybody deserves a enormous, limited
Yes.
transfer of power and wealth.
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes is definitely, I think, getting to the caliber of a type of person who might benefit from getting completely shit on a national level. Yeah. For, like, all to see. I think so. He's getting close. And here's the thing, right? So, Joe Biden has a lunch with Putin. Like, how much, like, value does that really give, like, your average American? Honestly, none. But, like, Joe Biden shitting on maybe, like, the most top, like, alt-right guy on the internet, that might actually have some, like, direct value to the American.
You think if Joe Biden had lunch with Nick Fuentes, that Joe Biden would shit on him?
I think that if, like, we couldn't prep the president of our United States to have an intelligent conversation with Nick Fuentes, then we have, like, way bigger problems than just eating chicken and waffles with extremists.
Okay,
right?
the right thinks that Joe Biden can't read.
Yeah, but that's obviously not true.
Is it?
Well, it's not
understand.
obviously not true. It's probably not true. It seems like you can read in certain circumstances. I definitely believe that.
I think we're getting.
But
I think I'm gonna agree with Steven. I think we're getting super hung up on specifically Biden because my main deal is that I think that.
Now we're getting
whatever,
super hung
okay.
up. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Since
Oh, no,
Destiny's
yeah,
here, we
you're
might
right.
as well talk about
You're
Destiny.
agreeing. You're agreeing with Steven. That's
I think your
that's-
conversation, like I think everything that you've said to Steven.
If you don't let me
point,
finish what
you
I'm
should-
saying, I'm gonna kick you from this conversation.
Damn. He's going full Myron on you. Go ahead.
Okay. Nick Fuentes would shit on Joe Biden. That's very painfully obvious, I think, to everybody. And the fact that you are picturing Joe Biden like bobbing and weaving and throwing all these, ideological, intellectual jabs that's not what would happen. I think the left believes that he has a stutter and that he's a little slow in his old age. The right believes that he's genuinely senile. The truth is probably somewhere in between. But it's not a good idea. That's not what would happen. It just feels like you're really naive about this. Okay, go ahead.
Jeez.
Anyways, I mean, I kind of understand the point that you're getting at. I still think you're wrong. I think everything that you've said to Destiny about, like all the points that you brought up specifically to Destiny about him, like platforming and eating, Nick Waffles with Nick Fuentes. I think that you should take everything that you've said to Destiny and you should go to Sneeko and say it to Sneeko. Because of all the people that you put on that list, right? The reason why I say yes to Joe Biden, yes to Destiny, yes to the pastor, yes to whatever, I think that these are people that are of, reasonable intelligence that are going to be able to, combat this shit.
Sneeko is intelligent.
I know he's reasonably intelligent, but Sneeko's audience and Sneeko himself are way more susceptible to the type of bullshit and weaving and jabbing, that Nick Fuentes does. And Destiny's not. Destiny does not really let him get away with bullshit.
A conversation with Sneeko does, and Sneeko appearing to respect you in the conversation does not lend you the sort of credibility that one with Steven does.
Oof. I think.
Yes, I also agree. But I mean, Sneeko,
Yeah.
I think objectively has more audience than Destiny.
True.
So
but
he has more.
but-
So he has more dummies watching his content that are looking at the shit and being like, "Oh,
I
look, Nick
know.
Fuentes is based." So that's shitty. Like, so your rhetoric, I think, should be more geared towards people that are actually like creating more extremists or like converting more people to Nick Fuentes' side.
I don't think Sneeko cares.
Right, but I don't think any of Destiny's fans are really becoming Nick Fuentes fans.
That
And if
wasn't
they
my,
are-
that wasn't my argument. I don't believe there's a zero-sum game between Fuentes' audience and Steven's audience.
We're birthing new people.
Yeah,
We're burning nuclear- I
or
disagree
stamping
with
him
that. I disagree with that.
stamping him as legitimate in a way that allows him to then talk to other people, whose communities will become followers. My
Do you hate
problem
like
with
Stardust platforming these people too, like for the same reason?
do I hate Stardust?
Well, not hate Stardust. You know what I'm saying? Do you disagree with the way that Stardust platforms these people in the same way that Destiny does?
Yeah, but
Really?
yeah, yeah. I told her like I think you should just interview. Yeah, I told her. I told her at the start of all this. I said I think interviewing Spencer is fine. I think interviewing Fuentes is fine. I don't think you should debate them, and I think you should just limit it to interviews. I don't know if I specifically said like don't be buddy buddy. I think it probably did, but yeah, we had a conversation about it.
Yeah, dude.
She doesn't
Weird.
like
I
being
feel like
told.
I feel like she
doesn't
does it
like
pretty
being told
appropriately too. Honestly.
Yeah, I know. We just
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, we disagree. That's fair. Is there someone who you think platforms extremists appropriately?
Steven pre 4 weeks ago. No, yeah, I think for the most part Steven does.
I'm
but,
just
I mean, like,
Destiny.
yeah, I miss the old Destiny. The not chicken and waffles Destiny.
True.
If I thought he was being irresponsible, I would have said something before then. So generally, Steven. I don't know who else really engages with people who are different from them. I mean, that's part of the reason we're having the conversation in the first place. And I think part of the reason Steven was so perhaps defensive or annoyed at me for being so confrontational about it is that most people won't talk to anybody different from them in the first place. So I don't even
Yeah,
know
that
who to think
sucks.
of. It does suck. Yeah. I think it's great that he
But-
does that, and I think he's really good at it. And I think he's really good at pushing back.
I think you need to encourage this shit. I think you're discouraging people from doing this. I think that sucks.
Wow.
I think I was
think you're-
pretty granularly specific about what issue I had with it. But if it's
So would the Jewish pastor televised be okay? So I'm curious, like
With
more middle
Fuentes?
range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so just not the president. Like the president was just too much. Like
Are
I
you,
get
like,
that.
like the fact that you
No,
say
like,
like,
listen, I could give you the-
no,
listen, I
fact,
could give you
the
the
fact,
president.
the fact,
That's
no,
fine.
the fact that you think a Jewish pastor and the president are even in the same range of like power transfers is insane.
No, I mean, I still think that it would be really based for if we had a different president that was more, I don't know, with it. Like, would that be a better? If there was a president that would
No,
debate Nick
the
Fuentes in a
president
debate,
should not. No,
or is it just the power
shouldn't-
level?
The president shouldn't have lunch with domestic terrorists or supposed alleged domestic terrorists who perhaps tried to stage a coup. They shouldn't do
Okay,
that.
fair.
If you're not allowed on a plane, you probably shouldn't be allowed to sit across from the president of the United States with a knife and fork in your hand.
What about vice president?
No.
Damn.
Real? Okay. What's the highest level government official that we would allow Nick Fuentes to have lunch with?
I don't think any government official should have lunch with Nick Fuentes.
But they already are. Like, this is the thing. Is he's already there? Like, I don't know. Like, don't we kind of gotta fight fire?
Didn't Marjorie Taylor Greene disavow him this year?
Just because, I mean, that's because
think
just a
that's-
couple people, I think.
I think when MTG disavows you, you're at the end of the line there.
I think that just because a certain like group flipped on her, like, you know, there's still going to be people in the future, I think politician-wise, they're going to be able to get, and Nick Fuentes is going to be able to get his tentacles around.
Okay.
Like, I think he's a scary character,
Okay.
and I think that platforming him so that we can all figure out kind of shit about him is good. Even Destiny.
Okay, so
I don't
you
wanna
heard
look
it.
too hard.
Give terrorists, alleged terrorists, actual terrorists, anybody who tries to assassinate the leader of the country or destroy the country or overthrow the country, give them as much power and clout and publicity as possible.
Yeah, in an
Thank you
appropriate
for
way.
your suggestion. I must end this conversation.
Bye.
And I'll talk to you later, Will.
What a clown that guy was.
He should have president with Biden. That's how much of it. Fuck. I am having a stroke.
Oh man, dude, that was a brutal misspeak. Jeez.
I got a lot on my mind, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm playing it off all cool, but I'm actually pretty upset.
Over what?
The ban.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm very preoccupied.
Have you thought about?
Feels like there's
Go ahead. Feels like there's a what?
a knife to my balls. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. Have you thought about like what life looks like post
Life.
that ban? Like,
I've thought about life after death.
well, I'm saying like, if is losing that channel giving you still this one is it a big deal or?
No, but the guidelines say that if you lose one channel, you're never allowed to make another YouTube account again. You can't even watch YouTube once you get banned from YouTube.
Well, you can watch this out of an account, right?
Oh, right. You can't. You just can't log in. So, I mean, I'm sure they know about this account, right? They're not. They're
Yeah,
Google.
it's pretty scary, right? Yeah.
Right. So why didn't they ban this one? Is it a soft ban? Is that a warning shot? I just wish I don't like the feeling that the rug is about to be pulled out from underneath me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it feels. So yeah, if that's it, and they're not going to ban this channel, then I can just say, okay, I won't make similarly provocative content, even though I believe it doesn't break TOS. I'll try to stay away from it. That's fine. But yeah, the precedent set of just like, if you make the wrong group of people mad at you,
Which is kind of how the internet works right now, which is probably the most frustrating part.
yeah, it's really upsetting. Yeah, but they'll just find something. The way that the rules are presented as like, you'll get a strike and that'll help guide you in the right direction. Not everybody can understand the rules, but the rules are super vague, and they're not really enforced evenly at all. And so then it's like, if you're talking about politics, you've almost certainly broken the rules if you're giving political opinions.
Yeah.
So then, especially if you're streaming, because you're just kind of talking. So like, yeah. So then they can just rug pull you whenever somebody wants them to. It just sucks. So I don't know what my life looks like. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore.
Yeah, it's stressful. I've been through that before. The first time when my Twitch account got departed, I had like a massive panic attack that day because I never even considered that like I could get like permaban. So yeah, it's a spooky world.
Yeah, yeah, and like the art form is YouTube videos, and the profession is YouTuber. It's like the profession is linked to the company, and no other company can really do it.
Yep.
Because they have a monopoly, and because they have the deep pockets to set themselves up like this. Maybe once data storage gets really cheap, you know, because I don't think people are going to be like, I only want to watch a video essay in 8K. I think 1080p and 4K are going to be fine for at least a while. So maybe competitors will pop up then. But like, yeah,
maybe. Yeah, it's a spooky one. I'm getting a request, a special request.
Yeah.
Lav wants to know if she's permabanned forever from your servers. Now I have no sway over this. I have no vested interest one way or another. She's messaged me and she's asked that question.
Lav is on an unannounced probationary period that I don't want to disclose the length of time, but due to a internal fight over how long she should be banned for, if she keeps her behavior good, she will be unbanned sooner or later.
Okay. Hopefully that message gets back to her. Hopefully she hears that.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll make its way to her one way or the other.
Okay. Dragon, the next one. Where are we at?
They're here. Hey, what's up?
Yo.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I came to talk mainly about Dr. Richard from yesterday, but there's one thing I want to say to Steven just before we start.
Oh, joy.
Steven, honestly, man, like, I don't care if you called Nick a Nazi. I don't want you to call him a Nazi. Call him whatever you want. But when somebody says, is he a Nazi? When you answer, oh, I don't know, is he a member of the National Socialist Party from 1940? That's absolutely fucking dumb. There's, like, you know for a fact that when Max is asking you that, he's not asking you, is he actually a member of the National Socialist Party? Just like when you call somebody a lefty, you know for a fact you're not saying, does he sit on the left side of the French National Assembly in 1789? You know for a fact that you're not saying that. So just, like, please, when somebody asks, is he a Nazi, don't say that stupid shit like that. Is he a member of the...
You want me to give you a cheat code to this conversation for every future person that wants to engage with me in this conversation? When you come at me and you're that emotional over it, you are 100% validating everything.
Okay, stop. That's, oh my God.
It is the most validating thing that I can ever hear. When you're like, when you come in here, don't fucking call him that. You know that he's not. You can't fucking say that. When you say shit like that, it reinforces my decision not to use these words a million times.
Okay.
Just so you know. Yeah.
Dude, I told you call him whatever you want. I started by saying I don't want you to call him a Nazi.
Okay, I'm just saying, but
Okay,
anyway.
you're just saying. You know, Stephen, what I think happened?
Yeah, tell me.
You're running away from the soy label, and you ended up being a gigasoy. It's
True.
like the horseshoe theory of the
Absolutely
giga chad.
true. I think that actually
soy spectrum.
I think that is true.
Anyway,
Yes.
So Max, I just have a couple of things I want to say about Dr. Richard from yesterday.
Okay, so to give Stephen, I don't know if you saw the clip in your subreddit about the end of my conversation with the Richard Steigman-Gall yesterday.
I did.
But okay.
Yeah, better not call me that word today.
Oh, you better not earn it.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. So throughout the conversation, he started making fun. He said a lot of passive aggressive things throughout the conversation. So one was I mentioned we're talking about like whether any racism is ever rooted in fact, because he was saying that people didn't like Jews in Nazi Germany because people didn't like Jews in like ancient Rome. And basically, it's just carried on from there. Misperceptions. And I was like, okay, but like I thought...
He really said that? Wait, what is his background?
He's a history professor and a Holocaust professor and a European history professor.
That's super interesting. Not to sound super anti-Semitic, but like, that's totally not true, right?
Well, yeah, so I was saying, like, you know, I think when we get taught about the Holocaust, people talk about anti-Semitism like it's a mind virus that people just catch. And we just need to stomp it out, and then everybody will be cured. We can inoculate against it with, like, education and blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, incidental contact, getting to know Jews in your personal life, and then you'll see that, you know, they don't actually have horns or whatever. And, you know, that's a legitimate framing. I think that's kind of true if you zoom out. But what I was asking him is, like, yeah, but to somebody who's, like, seeing people get marched off to concentration camps and who's happy to see it, why are they happy? And I feel like every Jew has this question, because we get taught about the Holocaust, and, it's always like, well, they just killed the Jews for no reason. And like, yeah, you can have a very safe, historical, very zoomed out reason. But also, I want to know, like, no, what were the day-to-day reasons? What were the experiences of the people there who are like, you know, these fucking Jews, they do this and they do this, and they gotta go. You know, what was that? Why was that their experience? Is any of it true? Or of course some of it's true. So to what extent? And I was saying, like, I don't agree with the prescription that you should kill people. Like even if you are racist, even if your racism is based in truth, to some degree, like doesn't mean you have to kill the person. But I said, like, I want to emotionally validate racist people so we can talk to them. And he was like, well, what race? I said I think all racism is kind of based in fact to some degree. He's like, well, what do you mean? Give me an example. And I was like, well, like black Americans. You've heard the whole 1350 thing, right? And he was like, no. I was like, okay, well, the concept that 13% of the population commits 50% of the murders. The prescription doesn't, I don't agree the prescription from that is to hate them.
No
but like,
way,
but that's true. And so like, I feel like not acknowledging that's true, or like, and he was like, where are you getting that? And I was like, the FBI crime statistics database. And then he referred back to that and said I'd read it in a Reddit thread. And I was like, no, I'm citing the FBI. Like, every time somebody kills somebody, the FBI writes down what race they were. And so he was just very like condescending and demeaning and invasive, and he kept making fun of people for donating to me, which is super not helpful.
Okay.
And yeah, so then eventually, I was talking. We were kind of having like a meta conversation. We're talking about how to talk to racists. Of course. But then he kept saying like, I think the messaging needs to be like a certain way in order to talk to racists because it's dangerous to validate anything they say. And I was saying I think it's dangerous not to. And then he would say, well, I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about Holocaust history. And I'm like, well, you keep talking about it though. You keep arguing with me, and then every time I argue back, you say, oh, I want to talk about the original thing. But it's like it's not really fair. And then he kept saying, well, Max, I think what you're grasping at is, and then he would reframe my thing to something I didn't say. He did that twice, and I was like, listen, I'm not grasping, motherfucker. Okay, I have got a firm grip on this shit. You're the one who's grasping. And he was like, I did not come here to be insulted. Well, you saw the rest. He said, I did not come here to be insulted. Demanded I apologize. I said, I can't do that. And they left.
Wow. Exciting.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the context, in case anybody missed it.
Okay.
What's up? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
That?
So I just want to make sure that I am understanding you. So I'm going to summarize very, very quickly in 30 seconds what I believe your position is on the part where the conversation got out of hand. In your opinion, you would like to bridge the divide, and to do that, it's important to acknowledge basic facts about race. And one of those basic facts is that, according to you and according to the FBI statistics, is that black people commit more violent crimes per capita than other races in the US. And that not acknowledging this simple fact is weaselly and dishonest, which is clearly spotted by the racists in your audience. Do I understand that correctly?
That is true, but I want to put a big if. If the goal of the conversation is to bridge the divide. So I would be more than happy to have him just say, listen, that's not my role. My job is not to talk directly to racists. That's your role. You're the social commentator, and you want to talk to the other side. I want to just be a blank slate that just provides historical information. So if you want to make these connections, you can make whatever connections you want, but that's just not what I'm here to do, and I don't want to do that. That would be fine, but once he starts engaging in that and telling me the correct way to talk to people and debating with me about how this information should be translated to a audience that like really does hate Jews, then yes, then I think it's weaselly to put your toe in the water or your whole fucking jump in and splash around, and then suddenly be like, oh, why are you putting water on me? As soon as I say, oh, I have criticisms of the way that you're engaging in this.
And then I think the last thing about my understanding is that you believe that this is a sensitive topic to Dr. Richard, and as an academic, that he's worried that if he's going to talk about crime statistics and 1350 meme or whatever it is, that cancel culture will get to him, and he's afraid of that. Do I understand correctly?
No. What I said about cancel culture is that the audience knows that you could lose your job for talking about this. And given that, it's very hard to know how to interpret. So I said, he said, well, I don't know if that's true. And I was like, okay, well, do you want to look at it's a spreadsheet, you can look at it and you can like do the math yourself. And he was like, no, I don't want to. The audience, because of cancel culture, the audience doesn't know if he's just being academically responsible and saying like, well, no, that's even if it is just a spreadsheet, even if it is a simple math problem, it's not one that is responsible for me to do live with people watching. We don't know if that's his reason, or we don't know if the reason is he already knows this is true. He just doesn't want to admit it because he thinks that the best way to combat racism is to lie to people, or obfuscate the truth, or we don't know if he's saying it because he's afraid to lose his job if he talks about it at all. So I wasn't so much saying like you're caving to cancel culture. It was more like we don't know if any of us are. It's so scary to say anything that now everything anybody says is called into question.
But if you believe that, if this is truly your position, then why did you put him in that bind? So he would either be silent and therefore be seen as caving into cancel culture, or he would talk and be academically irresponsible. You really put him in that bind.
He asked me for an example of when racism is based in fact.
Yes.
Also,
and
no
then
offense,
after
but
you
like,
tell about...
if he's a Nazi fucking historian, like, shouldn't he? Isn't this kind of his wheelhouse? Is like addressing some uncomfortable shit? Wouldn't you expect that? Am I totally out of line there by thinking that?
No, I think it's totally reasonable. I mean, just because academia has been compromised doesn't mean that we should expect and challenge academics to have the spine to practice academia. Because if you can't answer that question, and you can't, so no, I didn't put him in a bind. I just told you what he could say to get out of the bind. You could just say like, look, I know you get to say whatever you want, but in academia we have to be really careful. Even if you show me a number and say this is the number of people who died from COVID this year, I am more tied to that statement with my career, and it's not just cancel culture; it's academic responsibility. I can't just say it back to you like it's true. It just means something else for my career, and the implications mean more when I say it. It's tied to my entire credibility in my career. Blah blah. He could have easily said that. So no, I don't think I put him in a bind. And if he's going to go on YouTube channels, controversial YouTube channels, to have conversations about the Holocaust and how it relates to politics today, he should absolutely know how to answer a question like that, or gracefully say he doesn't want to answer. But to say, oh, did you get that from a Reddit page, that's not one of the options. You don't get to fucking get out of answering the question by insulting me and saying that I have some ulterior motive, or I'm uninformed or unintelligent or uneducated because I asked the question. Don't start making ad homs at me to try to wriggle out of the question, because you can't, and then I'm gonna call you a motherfucker.
I was gonna do
what do you
this
honestly
one,
believe his reason for not talking about
but-
it? Like in your
I
honest
believe that
heart,
he
what do you
actually
believe?
fucks his own mother, and that's probably not. What is the actual reason for not wanting to talk about it?
I have time for one more. so
I believe it's the
I'm
reason he
hoping
said. He said, I don't want to validate racists. He and I said, I think you're conflating validating a belief with validating a feeling and validating a prescription. Those are all different things. So Jews in pre-war Germany are more often bankers, disproportionately represented in banking, right? Sounds like a fact. He agreed to that, right? The feeling is, why are these fucking Jews raking me across the coals? I have no money. Why are they taking my house? They're taking everything from me. They want every last dime, and they care about nobody but themselves. That's a feeling and an experience. And the prescription is, let's deport them all or kill them all. And so I wanted to break those down and say, like, well, the first two, you can't really argue with. I mean, the first one you just said is true. The second one is a feeling. You can't argue with a feeling. No, so I think if you validate the first two, like with Black Americans, they commit more murders than white Americans. This makes you uncomfortable, or you are uncomfortable. Maybe you don't hate Jews because they're the bank. Maybe actually, if you look at your bank records, you realize most of the people who took your money really aren't Jewish, but it just seems like they are. It's still an experience and it's a feeling. And I still think you can validate. That's your sense. And I think a lot of racism is post hoc rationalized. Like, maybe you just don't like black people for some other reason, and then you're focusing on this 1350 thing. But maybe you don't know anybody who's murdered. Maybe black people mostly murder each other. And so it's not. I mean, they do. They also murder white people.
After work tomorrow, I'll be able
you're saying
to
maybe
grind some.
there's not a perfect through line, but you can still listen and say, like, yeah, that's how you feel, and these are the facts, and then argue with the prescription. Like, well, that doesn't, saying that they need to go to different schools, or that they need to be kicked out of the country, or that they don't deserve welfare, whatever your stance is.
Did you
they also
decide
be
on
locked up, whatever.
ramen?
That doesn't logically follow.
No, you didn't decide yet. You were
if you can't get to the first two, it looks like you agree with the prescription. It looks like you
cream
secretly
barbecue or ramen,
agree
my love?
that the Holocaust was a good idea. If you can't say, like, well, yeah, some of the perceptions were true and the feelings are valid, but you shouldn't round people up and kill them. So I think it's irresponsible to
I would like to state
what do you want to curry in the barbecue?
I would like to state specifically on the FBI stats topic, not like, because that's what derailed you really. That's what took the conversation like out of hand, and then it went downhill from there with this like him saying it's a Reddit post, you defending that and telling him okay,
we
but
can do
like
the one by
basically
your
you gotta
house
say it's a
that
fact
me
and
and Austin
kind
went
of
to. That one was
recognize
pretty
it as
good.
fact, and then the conversation went out of hand from there.
I think
would
the
like to argue
conversation.
that-
I think he came in balancing on like one tiptoe, and was ready to. I don't think it was really ever on the rails. I think it was just balanced on the rails. But yes, continue.
Okay, I would like to argue that he was absolutely correct in steering away from the FBI stats.
So we'll plan for
and he
that
did the
one.
correct
We'll
academically
try to be there
responsible
around like
thing. And I believe you
1:30.
should recognize that,
I'll
and you
probably
should have
ask
just let
for
it
the
I just
be.
fucking said
name of
that. I
it.
literally just explained
I
that if he
forgot
thinks
what
it's
it's called.
Yes.
academically irresponsible.
But
I said
know-
how.
Then why didn't you let it go?
The front
Because the
entrance
way
of
didn't you let it
Stormrage
go then?
Holy
Because
Priest
the way that
specifically.
he steered away from it
So
was not
we'll
academically
go there
responsible.
around like 1:30.
It was academically-
We'll be
it
done
was
by
a
like
meta
2:30
conversation.
max.
You would like to talk to him
Because
about
I
the
don't-
Holocaust, not how to steer away from
They're pretty
conversations.
quick with it.
So just like you as an interviewer, it's your responsibility
So-
to just steer away from it.
Okay, if
Okay,
I
I'll believe
teleported,
that.
if I
Thank you so
teleported into
much.
his house and
I'm
punched him in the
probably
face,
gonna
and then he said,
head to bed
"Hey,
soon.
you just punched me in the face,"
I'll probably
would
watch
it make
some
sense for me to
Black
say that's a
Clover.
meta conversation? I'm here to talk about the
Mario,
Holocaust.
yeah, whatever
Why are
it
you
is,
bringing
but
this
It was
up?
good. I want it. I'm excited.
Do you see how that
And
doesn't
I
make
love
any
you,
sense?
woman.
Yes, your example
lady,
doesn't make any sense, man.
woman.
Do you want me to draw a
Okay?
comparison
I love
so that
you.
you understand what I'm saying?
Don't
Or
forget it.
Can you do it?
Do your best.
Bye, baby.
Okay.